The New York Giants were obviously one of the worst teams in the NFL last year, but having a decent offseason and upgrading this O-line at least a little bit, I think this is a pretty underrated team heading into the season. Now, I don't think this team is going to be great this year, but now with the addition of Brian Burns, Malik Neighbors, and I can't stress this enough, but a NFL caliber offensive line, this team could be set up pretty okay for the future. So we are going to see what the future could look like for this Giants team, assuming everything goes to plan. And we are going to see if we can even somehow turn this into a Super Bowl caliber team by the end of this. But super quick, if you enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like. On the last one I did, we got to 800 likes, so let's see if we can get to 900, just a tiny bit higher. It sounds stupid, but leaving a like really does help out the channel. It helps out the video. I would appreciate it. And you know, if we hit that like goal, it'll let me know y'all really want to see the next video in this series where I'm rebuilding every team, going through divisions. So let me know what NFC East team I should rebuild next. Each comment counts as a vote, and obviously the Giants were picked as the team to kick off the NFC East. And I think it was only separated by like 3 votes, so let me know down in the comments what NFC East team you want to see next. And of course, subscribe over here if you haven't already too. But that's a more than long enough intro. Let's get into this rebuild. Oh yeah, and I don't normally point this out, but it does kind of matter here. I'm gonna switch up like some of the starters here just to kind of get younger receivers and tight ends playing. We're gonna start Theo Johnson. I'm not the biggest Theo Johnson fan, but he is young. Technically has some pretty good upside, so we'll see how he does. We'll start Wan'Dale Robinson, and then I'll have to grab Jalen Hyatt. He's not listed as a top 6 receiver here for whatever reason. And then on defense, this is fine. Oh yeah, and we're gonna start Evan Neal at right tackle, which I don't love. I feel like it should be Jermaine Illuminor. Tackle's a scary position to start a bad player at. We'll have to see if we can save Evan Neal here, a player that I liked when they picked him, of course. But let's get to the midseason point, and we will see how this team is doing. I'm not expecting much year 1, but you never know. Okay, well, we are 1-6. To be honest, I thought we were gonna be doing decent, and I was about to be not very happy because we shouldn't exactly be good yet. We actually do have a decent defense, but our offense is horrible. We have 11.7 points per game. That's insane. Ooh, Drew Lock came in and threw 1 pass, and it was an interception. Why is the blocking not really the issue? What's the problem? Okay, Devin Singletary's kind of bad. He has yards, but 3.6 yards per carry. Daniel Jones just sucks, but also I don't want to bench him for Drew Lock. Do we go with the GOAT, Tommy DeVito? I thought he had his face in the game, finally. I guess he doesn't. I don't know. I'm not going to give up on Daniel Jones yet, but if he finishes the season horribly, then we'll definitely move on from him. Maybe we should put Tommy DeVito in. I mean, what's the worst case scenario there? We do bad and get a good draft pick? You know what? This is a maybe realistic situation. I think if the Giants are benching Daniel Jones, it'll probably be Drew Lock, but God, as a Seahawks fan, I have never, at least this year, I don't understand the hype for Drew Lock. He came in and had an okay game against the Eagles that were like the worst defense in the league. 90% of, fellow Seahawks fans were like, oh my God, let's start him over Geno. I'm like, Geno would have had a career game against that Eagles defense. I used to be a Drew Lock believer. Maybe there's something there. I'm not a believer anymore, and I'm sure now that I say that, he'll do great for the Giants if he comes in. But anyways, already going on a big rant. It took probably 4 minutes, but we'll see how Tommy DeVito does. What's even the point of doing this, though? Like, what? Even if he does well, he's a 68 overall and already 25 here. I think he's 20. Whatever. I already changed it. We'll keep him. I'm so indecisive already. But not much for re-signings here. I don't know what the team's re-signings are going to look like in real life, but how I think I'm going to do this for rebuilds is just keep it how it is and not get the realistic ones, because we'll get the realistic ones next year, like every other team will, because as I always complain about, you can't edit contracts outside of franchise. I'm going on a lot of rants early here, but no re-signings to worry about. So let's get to the end of the year, and we will see how we finish. Hopefully bad enough for the #1 pick, but we might bounce back a little bit. We'll see. My guess is like 6-11, somewhere where this team was in real life. Okay, well, decent prediction. We finished 5-12. Didn't we have like the 18th defensive points per game and 9th defensive pass yards per game allowed at the midseason? Did our defense stay exactly the same? That's surprising. But let's see what happened this year. So Tommy DeVito was definitely better than Daniel Jones, but not good enough to justify not taking a QB. I guess the only thing maybe keeping us from not taking a QB is the fact that I didn't set it as a focus position, because I thought Daniel Jones would be at least okay, but he wasn't. Devin Singletary kind of bounced back, 1,200 yards, which is good, but 314 14 carries, only 3.9 per carry. That's not great. Yards cool, yards per carry, but 1,000 yards for Neighbors as a rookie, 5 touchdowns, definitely not enough for offensive rookie of the year, but he was good. Hyatt was good. Theo Johnson was pretty good for a rookie tight end. I wish we got Wan'Dale Robinson more involved. I actually like this team's receivers a lot. I don't love Hyatt, but Neighbors I thought was very good. I like Wan'Dale Robinson. I even like Darius Slayton, who's probably going to start. I just wanted to start the higher upside guys. I even like Isaiah McKenzie, Isaiah Hodgins. Like, this team is so weird because it's deep, but they just don't have many good players. You know what I mean? Like, at least at certain positions, they're deep. Like, I like Tyrone Tracy. I like Eric Gray. They technically have decent backup QBs, but they don't have anyone that's proven to be great other than like Andrew Thomas and Dexter Lawrence, and that's about it, and Bobby Okereke. But blocking, Andrew Thomas allowed more sacks than Evan Neal. I know that's left tackle compared to right, but still, I just want to put that sentence out there just to let y'all know that. Our interior was really good though. That's cool. Bobby Okereke, 127 tackles, 126 for McFadden. TFLs. Oh yeah, they also have Brian Burns. It looks like he wasn't great here. 15 TFLs for him, a good amount of TFLs for the rest of them, but sacks, 5.5 for Thibodeau led the team, 5.5 for Jordan Phillips, 4.5 for Brian Burns. I'm not crazy about Brian Burns. He's good, but 4.5 sacks is a little bit crazy. Same with 4.5 for what is this game? What are we doing? I hate it here. But 3 picks for Okereke led the team, 1 for Andrew Phillips as a rookie and 1 for Jason Pinnock. We only had 2 total interceptions from our secondary. Another group that I think is unproven but could be really good. I really like Tyler Nubin too, and I like Nick McLeod, and I like Cordell Flott. Like, they have a lot of unproven, potentially good players. But Joe Burrow wins MVP here. When I scroll like too quick through this, it plays tricks on my mind. I thought I said Aaron Rodgers was on the Falcons. I don't know what's wrong with it. But believe it or not, no Daniel Jones or Tommy DeVito up here. Shocker. I know, that's crazy. What? Cedric Wilson on the Vikings up there at number 9 for Offensive Player of the Year. Okay, whatever. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Micah Parsons. Shocker. Bobby Okereke at 10. That's cool. And non-rookie Bijan Robinson wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. I always feel the need to say this, but that's not up to me. You can't change players away from being rookies. Wish I could. But Malik Neighbors at 7. Offensive Rookie of the Year was technically Caleb Williams. And Neighbors was technically number 3, just Leggett and Williams above him. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Edgerrin Cooper as per usual. And no Giants, unfortunately. I'm always like surprised in simulation with the problems with our team, but especially here. The Giants' strongest group, their pass rush, I mean, arguably their strongest, was our biggest weakness here. And the Giants' biggest concern, the O-line, was actually decent. I mean, we only allowed like 25 total sacks. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's get into the offseason, and we have some things to fix with this team, obviously. What? Did I accidentally use the wrong rosters here? Excuse me? The Arizona Cardinals win the Super Bowl here. What do I even say about that? I mean, I think the Cardinals could be okay. I think they had a really good draft. I can't say I agree with them being the Super Bowl winner for year 1. Why are simulations so bad, especially on second channel videos? I had the Lions at like a 90 overall. I think it was the best roster in the league for 12-1. The second channel's cursed. I'm sorry, guys. There's nothing I can do about it. Plus, it was a 90 overall with like a ton of negative morale. We could have been like a 92 if we had positive morale. This game drives me insane, if you couldn't tell, but I like football, all right? That's my excuse to keep going. But we're not going to bring anyone back. I mean, I guess I'll bring Tommy DeVito back, but he isn't interested. He does resign, though. I actually like Nick McLeod, like I said, so he resigns. That's cool. Not going to bring back CFL legend Nathan Rourke, unfortunately. But let's get into free agency. Year 1 for free agency is usually weak, so probably not going to do much here, but yeah, even weaker than usual. God. I need to, like, figure out a way to make free agency not so weak in year 1. I think there is a way. I think I have a maybe plan to do that. But yeah, it's not great. The Saints always cut Cesar Ruiz. I don't know why, but not really anyone I'm interested in here unless we want to go like Jake Browning or Andy Dalton or something, Trey Lance. You know what? This is the most underwhelming free agent class ever, but how about Trey Lance? You know, as a just in case case option. In case we can't find a good rookie QB in the draft, or if we decide to go another direction, I'd rather start him over the guy that this team paid like 40 mil per year. I still can't believe that. I can't believe I said it was stupid when they did it and I got like backlash for that. I mean, I know he wasn't set up for success last year with that O-line, but come on. What are we doing here? I didn't even check if Trey Lance signed. We'll just assume he signed. Let's get to the draft. I'm so like disjointed today. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I sincerely apologize. But okay, in the draft, we pick at number 5. I thought it would be a touch higher. Don't know if we're necessarily in a position to trade up for the number 1 pick, though. We have too many needs to trade picks up for. Do we, though? Do we have that many? I mean, we have needs, but we also have a lot of young players already. We kind of just need free agent. Nah, there are definitely positions we should draft. But there aren't that many positions we need to draft. Maybe tight end, definitely QB, probably O-line. But like, are we really going to be able to draft a receiver better than, well, we could, but it would have to be with this first pick. How insane would it be to trade up here? Okay, we also definitely need to draft a D lineman. All right, here's why I want to trade up. Oh, okay, never mind. He's not that good. I just assumed he would be good, but Nolan Brock, he's only a 1st to 2nd round talent, but he's projected to go top 5. I just assumed that he would be really good because of his projection, but he's decent. Definitely not worth trading up for. This is a bad QB class. I think we were right for drafting or for signing Trey Lance. He genuinely might be our starter this year. So let's just get to number 5. If that QB is still available, I'll take him here. Oh, he is. Okay, is he gonna have a dev trait? If he's still here, that makes me worry because I don't think he hasn't been drafted because of his overall. This makes me think he doesn't have a dev trait. This makes me think he has normal dev because teams have, it seems like superhuman knowledge of dev traits that seems a little unfair at times, I guess. But the CPU picks busts a decent amount of the time. Is it really smart to draft a not amazing QB or should we wait for an amazing one to come around? That's my only thing. I mean, Nolan Brock looks like a high upside guy, elite throw power, has a few A ratings, a few important ones, awareness, deep accuracy, throw under pressure. This is a big risk. This is a potential rebuild killer right here. There's also Armon Williams or Armin, whatever. I wish I had him scouted because he looks good. He's just not that fast. There's also Mitch Booth who looks decent but also kind of slow. Gabe Stanford. Yeah, he might be decent, just horrible medium route. All right, I think we might take the QB. Again, big risk. We're gonna have to see how this works out by the end of this, but oh, wait. I forgot I focus scouted guard. There's some good linemen this year. It said it was a weak interior O-line class. Does that just mean like where the players are projected to go? That must mean what it is. Because sometimes when I see it's a weak class, I just assume all the players are bad, but that just means like they aren't projected to go high, but everyone's wrong for thinking they're bad, I guess. Because I'm looking at 2 top 5 talents and 1 first round talent. So that'll probably be what we do in the 2nd round. We might trade up for Steve Herron though. I don't know. I'm yapping a lot, but to be fair, this is a rebuild where we need to plan things out. This isn't exactly an easy one, but let's go with Nolan Brock. Risky because he's technically not worth this pick, but will he have a dev trait? My gut tells me no, but I want to think yes. Okay, well, I almost said something really sus, but my guts were wrong. He does have hidden dev, which is huge, and goodbye Daniel Jones. Now, I wish you could, here's one, a little nitpicky thing here, but I wish you could simulate to a specific pick instead of having to go one by one to where we want to go. Did the Bears really pick a running back? All right. Oh, no, that's where I was going to trade up to. I was going to trade up right here, but Steve Herron got taken. That isn't the end of the world, though. There are still some really good linemen. Okay, with this pick, I think we're gonna go Jacob Dressler. There's also Hayden Saunders. Ooh, now hold on. These two both look really similar, just Jacob Dressler has slightly better run block, but everything else is the same. Who's stronger and fast? Oh, okay. Dressler's stronger. All right, Saunders could be the better player if, you know, some of those A ratings are like super crazy good, but hold on, there are some pretty really, yeah, that's what I meant to say. Pretty possibly good looking guards. Ricky Woodyard, Jerome Duval. Oh God, this is like our dream draft class. The only problem being we don't have enough picks to get all these guys. I think first we're gonna go Ricky Woodyard though. We really don't need that many more linemen, but with how big of a problem it is for this team, or was last year, we might take a lot of linemen anyways, even if it might get a little redundant. You know, Jermaine Illuminor won't be here forever. I don't trust Evan Neal. I might go Duval. Elite speed and strength and agility agility, lots of A ratings. Woodyard looks good. He has the elite strength and agility, but his power isn't that good, which, being that strong, that should be your thing. So I think we're going to go Duval with this first pick. Hidden Dev, 92 strength, 76 speed. Wait, what draft picks do the Giants have in real life? I guess every team kind of has messed up draft picks here, but the Giants might not have their second rounder in real life. No, they do. What did they trade for Brian Byrne? Oh, maybe that was this year pick. We also should have another second rounder. Or no. Okay, I'm looking at 2025 or 2024 for some reason. So yeah, all our picks are right. Okay, good. And now let's go with, he is still here, Jacob Dressler. This is going to be the last pick I show here out of Alabama. I'm a little scared of Alabama linemen. A lot of them don't really work out for whatever reason, but we know he's good, so we will take him here. Hidden Dev, 92 strength. Cool. Okay, wow, this might be an all-timer draft here. Not necessarily because we got like the craziest overall players, but it was definitely a good idea to double up on the QB or on the O lineman. Let's just start with Nolan Brock, 74 overall. That's about what I expect. Usually it's like first to second round talents are 74, 75, 94 throw power, 83 deep accuracy. Looks all right. I mean, a 74 isn't crazy, but he was the best QB in this class, I would assume. I would hope. Let's see. Yep, looks like it. Okay, Chase Judge was actually the same overall. Does also have Hidden Dev, but he is a year older than Nolan Brock, so I don't know. We'll see which one ends up being better. But I mean, these linemen, man. Jerome Duval. Looks like that was a good decision to take him first. 81 overall, 90 lead block, 93 impact block as a rookie. He isn't like technically the most refined, I guess. His power isn't that good. He's not a like fantastic run blocker, but he's not bad at anything. He looks amazing. And Jacob Dressler, 77. He was obviously a first round talent. We knew that, but I just didn't know Jerome Duval was going to be a top 5 player. I thought he maybe could be, but I didn't think he would be for sure. And I actually did make every pick in this draft. It's rare that I do that, but Taylor McLeod, good player, Hidden Dev, 76 finesse moves, good pass rusher, 75 speed, 89 strength is crazy. Clyde English, he's one of these classic Madden 5'11 power rushers that have horrible block shedding and strength. I don't know what these guys are supposed to be. I still really can't tell. Are they like who is this modeled at? Players like that. I can't think of one. I don't know. It's so weird. He'll play outside linebacker, obviously. Probably gonna go down in overall, but oh well. Was still a decent value. And then Ryan Stern, not amazing, but Hidden Dev, 68 overall. That's good value for the 6th round. And then I just thought Mateo Moreno was kind of a funny name. He's whatever. Not great, but whatever. It was the 7th round. This was like the best draft class we could have had. Maybe a good like corner instead of Dressler, I guess, but I definitely won't complain about getting Dressler. But let's get into year 2, and I'm feeling a lot better about this team. Now, O-line wasn't necessarily our problem, but I'm just thinking about on paper, trying to make this team the best it could be. That's pretty much what we needed. But here's a look at the team heading into year 2. I feel a lot better about this team. Like I said. Now, well, I can't fully say that because it is Madden. This team will probably do worse than last year, but on paper at least. We have like a legitimately good offensive line now. There are no issues with it. At least there shouldn't be. We have a tight end with a dev trait, which is cool. I think he developed 2 overall through the preseason already. I guess he has played a lot of snaps in the preseason though, so we'll see what his dev trait is. We're in Giants legend, Darren Waller's number 12. Let's go. Oh yeah, and the big question this year is how is Nolan Brock gonna do? He has Brock as part of his name, so hopefully he can, you know, be decent, but absolutely carried to success like another Brock. We'll see. And then I'm not so hopeful about the defense, at least on paper. I guess it is an 81 overall, but I don't know. It was better than our offense last year. It's like, I don't know. It's older than our offense, and the players that should have done well, like Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, didn't really do super well. So we'll see what happens. Let's get to the midseason point, and I hope we do at least decently well. But I guess I'll understand if we don't, because we do have a lot of rookies. Okay, well, we are slightly better at 2 and 5. Not great, but at least a little better. Now, we're not really good at anything. I don't think I've ever seen a team with a red. Well, I've definitely seen a team with a red everything, but not with real teams. Usually it's a horrible team that we're starting with, like a team of kickers or something. I guess we're 11th for sacks and 15th for giveaways on offense, but that's not resulting in much yard or point success, unfortunately. What's the problem here? Nolan Brock's just okay. Devin Singletary's good. Jalen Hyatt's our leading receiver. Okay. Oh, Jacob Dressler, a decent player, is playing horribly. That's cool. This game, man. Taylor McLeod, a a 70, okay, he has superstar dev, but he is a 72 speed rusher, and he's leading the team with 5 sacks. Brian Burns, an 89 overall speed rusher, has 1 sack. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Just wanna put that out there. How are we feeling about playbook changes already? I guess I'm not going to, because I do see the Giants in the Super Bowl sometimes, so they might have decent playbooks, but I'm tempted to already. But let's see, in terms of re-signings, is there anybody I want back? Maybe John Runyon, maybe Jason Pinnock. I think Giants fans like Jason Pinnock. He's fine. I don't know. I feel like we could upgrade there. Honestly, there isn't really anyone that important here. And I think John Runyon's on a longer deal, so I don't think he should be here yet, technically, but whatever. We'll see. Actually, we might as well offer him a deal now. 4 years, 34, which I think is a decent amount less than he's making in real life. Actually, I think it is something like that. Hold on. Is it like 4 years, 40? Or maybe it's not even close to that long. I don't know. No, it's 3 years, 30, so pretty much 4 years, 40. 10 per year, so close enough guess. But let's get to the end of the year here, and we will see if we can maybe finish as a decent team, hopefully. Of course we're worse. Why would we be better with a better team? That would crazy. We're 4-13 at the end of the year. That's tough. Let's see what went wrong. So Nolan Brock as a rookie wasn't all that good. Obviously has star dev. I mean, that's no surprise, but he wasn't that good either. Is this Giants offensive playbook just horrible? Normally QB play in Madden is like way too good, or there's like a severe lack of players or quarterbacks who perform terribly. Usually most of them do pretty well. I guess there were a few not great ones here, like Aiden O'Connell, 18-18. But how about just pure passer rating? Nolan Brock was bottom 5 for that, for starters. So that's not great. CJ Stroud also down here. That's not great. That's our rookies played horribly this year. But Devin Singletary, again, a million carries. So he got decent yardage, but 3.8 yards per carry. We'll probably look for a new running back. No 1,000-yard receivers. Neighbors got close, but didn't hit it. Oh, well, there's your problem. Jacob Dressler, 17 sacks allowed. The rest of the line was good. Of course, our 2 lowest overall guys performed the best because Madden. Bobby Okereke and Micah McFadden had 1 difference, or 1 tackle in difference again this year. Last year, like, Okereke had 127 and McFadden had like 126, I think it was. Weird, but whatever. Decent amount of TFLs and then sacks. You know, on the bright side from this season, I think our lowest overall starter out of our rookies did the best. Again, shocking. 9.5 sacks for McLeod, 12 TFLs. He was really good for whatever reason. All right. 9 sacks for Burns, a lot better than last year. Still like just pretty good and not like insane, but whatever. Or 8.5 for Lawrence, we'll take it. Only 5.5 for Thibodeau again. And then 4 picks for Tyler Nubin led the team, and then 1 for 3 different players. So I did thankfully set safety as our focus position. So I think Pinnock is going to be gone, unfortunately, but we need some interceptions, clearly. But Lamar wins MVP. Offensive player of the year goes to the white boy, Cooper Kupp. Defensive player of the year goes to Micah Parsons. Ooh, shocking. Carl Lawson at number 2. Is it 2019? Or when was Carl Lawson even last good? He just kind of gets injured every year now. He's not even on a team right now, I don't think. But no Giants up here. Offensive rookie of the year goes to Armin Williams. Nolan Brock at number 3. Ryan Stern at 9. I didn't even notice what he did. I think he only had like 400 and something yards. And of course we get cucked. We were looking so good. It was so positive, but we get number 2 for defensive rookie of the year. Kovacs wins it for the Saints. Taylor McLeod at number 2. Awesome. What happened? Where did we go wrong? But let's see. As for dev traits, Duval has superstar. That's cool. He is our only offensive rookie to have superstar, though. Stern and Brock both only have star. Same with Dressler. And then McLeod, of course, has superstar, so that's cool. But we still have some work to do. I don't know what to do, but something. I'll give Brock another chance next year, maybe. It wouldn't be great to, you know, spend a top 5 pick on a QB and then immediately give up on him. But, you know, with him not winning offensive rookie of the year, that's kind of a career ruiner in Madden, at least for a lower overall guy with only star dev. But in the Super Bowl, I would say a more normal one, but it's kind of the 2 teams that are good in the regular season, but not in the playoffs. The Ravens and Cowboys here. The Ravens winning the Super Bowl, that's something. But this is going to be a really interesting offseason. We're going to hope they're good free agents. That's all I'm going to say. Because I don't think we're going to bring anybody back. We'll pick up the 5th year for Thibodeau. That's fine. But like Slayton's 28. Ojulari doesn't play. Simmons needs to go back to safety, in my opinion. He's just not a good enough run defender. Like pure safety. Jason Pinnock did get star dev. Why did he get star dev exactly? Why did he get star dev? What? He wasn't that good, at least in terms of stats. I mean, he was okay. I'm still good. So let's get into free agency, and all we can do is hope. Okay, Chubb is here. Would it be realistic to sign him? Maybe the best pure runner of the football in the NFL. Like, I don't really want to say best running back because, you know, Christian McCaffrey, but I think Chubb's the better runner. I don't feel like that's controversial to say. Obviously, coming off a massive injury, would it be really realistic to sign him? I mean, he is still good here. We don't have injuries in this world, so I think we might. I mean, I never really get him in franchise, so you know what? 4 years, 84 mil, that's kind of expensive. Oh, that doesn't even get us the lead. All right, we'll try very player friendly. If we don't get him, it's not the end of the world, but it could be pretty important. Devin Singletary has not been very good for us. The yards are good, but with how run heavy we are, if we can get Nick Chubb, that would be crazy. Oh, and Oso Digizua, weird to see him with no dev trait, but we kind of do need another D lineman. And this is a decent corner free agent class too. None of them are very expensive. Paulson Adebo, that would be kind of cool. We're really spending all our money here, which maybe isn't the best idea. Ooh, Andre Cisco as superstar dev. We'll draft a safety though. But all right, here's what we're going to try to do. There's really no guarantee we're going to get either of these three players, or any of these three, I should say, I guess. Chubb, we went very player friendly, so we're hoping we can get him, but there are lots of other teams that are interested. Paulson Adebo, we went, I think, very player friendly, so hopefully we get him, but the Texans also have a green offer. And then Oso Digizua, we have a lead for. We'll have to see if he wants to sign. We went player friendly, so hopefully he signs. Really, again, all we can do is hope. And is it so wrong to have a little hope left? That's my question. Let's see if we can sign these three players. Nick Chubb is the only one who signs, and it's not with us. He goes to the Patriots. So does Tua What? Why? I swear, if Drake May has been doing well and they signed Tua, let me see. Okay, well, he hasn't been doing great, but I still think you should maybe give him another year instead of just paying a lot of money for Tua. I don't know. Are we gonna get anyone here? I'm not so sure. All right, Paulson Adebo and Oso Digizua, do you want to sign? Paulson Adebo signs with the Raiders. All right, that's fine. We can draft a corner. That's not too hard. Oso Digizua, please. We get Oso Digizua. Okay, we'll take it. What did I do to deserve this? We don't even really need Oso Digizua that bad, but whatever. I wanted to sign somebody. Okay, and I guess we're only gonna have the number 5 pick. Is that right? I know it likes to lie with that for whatever reason. Let me see. What are the standings? Oh, that is right. There were a lot of horrible teams this year. 5 teams at 4-13 or worse. That's rough. But here, like we saw, the Patriots have the number 1 pick. We don't pick until 5 somehow, going 4-13. There wasn't really anyone at the top of the board I was crazy about. This is a very strong QB class, though, which is interesting. I'll say that, because Brock wasn't exactly great last year. I kind of like Justin Dyson. I wish he had elite throw power, though, but he looks all right. I don't know. I really don't think I should take a QB if I don't have him fully scouted. But at number 5, we might trade this pick back. There isn't really anyone here I want too bad. I mean, it's tackles, but we have good overall tackles, pass rushers. We're good there. Maybe a receiver. Maybe. JJ Phelps looks pretty good. The only thing is, he ran a 4.39, but only has good speed and solid acceleration. I hate that. That's so stupid. If he actually had, like, great speed, great acceleration, like he probably should, then I would take him in a heartbeat, but I don't know. Stephen Gordon or Stephen Gordon? I hate, whatever. He looks good. Ernest Ross looks good. That's a crazy name, too. See, good speed, great acceleration. I know it's close, but should this guy really be faster than someone who ran a 4.39, running a 4.46? Like, come on. I know it's close, and combine numbers aren't everything, but in Madden, they maybe should be. Ooh, this linebacker. I'm obviously not going to take a linebacker, but oh, he's slow. Okay. Well, other than that, he looks pretty good. All right, I'm just yapping. What do I want to do? I can't make up my mind. When I can't make up my mind, I yap. I like JJ Phelps. I might take him, but I also might trade back to like 10 or later and maybe either get Ross or Gordon. Gordon is a scheme fit. He's just barely scouted. God, we really need a corner on paper at least. Again, I think this team's corner group could be decent in real life, but here it is not decent. What if I trade back to like 9 and hope that Phelps is still here? He won't be. I think Phelps is better than Ross, though. That's the only thing. I don't know what to do. Do we want the possibly better receiver and more draft picks? Or no, Now, do we want the possibly slightly worse receiver and more draft picks, or the better receiver? I would say we don't need more draft picks, but we do have a few needs still. We need tight end, arguably QB, but that's not really gonna fix here. That was a weird way to phrase that, but you know what I mean. We need safety, we need corner, maybe linebacker. All right, let's trade back to like 11, maybe. All right, we're gonna steal the Dolphins' second round pick to move down to 11. Seems fair enough at least. And then we are gonna go with, God, that QB is still here. Nick Nash. We'll stick with Brock for another year. That's fine. Let's go with Ernest Ross. If he has normal dev, I'm not gonna be very happy. He's also very strong. 28 bench reps at receiver. I'm sure that's better than, how long will it take me to find a tackle that had less bench reps than him? A first to second round talent. That was quick. But yeah, Ernest Ross. Steven Gordon could be better though. I just don't know for sure. But what is scouted is pretty good. It's just his awareness. Ross probably has better awareness, better release, possibly better spec catch. I don't think he's amazing, but I think he'll be like a 77. We'll take him. He does have hidden. Okay, good. 79 strength, 92 speed, 92 excel, 95 jumping. He looks really good. We'll take it. And now round 2. I mean, this is pretty clear cut what we're gonna do here. Wait, oh, I thought that said first round talent. Okay, pretty clear cut. We are gonna go with Demir Hitchcock. Don't even get me started on that last name. I don't know why I like picking on Madden draft names so much, but there are just some interesting ones, all right? A awareness, A man. He's a first round talent. Good speed, or great speed actually. Good excel. We'll take him. Hidden dev. Safety was like our last really big need. We're looking pretty good. Now, unfortunately, this isn't like the best corner class ever. There are still a lot of QBs left. Okay, hear me out. This second round pick that we got is basically free. Well, not really. It isn't really free. I shouldn't say that, because we did end up going with a slightly worse receiver, possibly. But I'm just wondering if we should take one of these QBs. I like Justin Dyson. I mean, I don't know what his short accuracy and play action are, but great throw power, A awareness, A deep accuracy, A throw under pressure. Oh, wait. He might not even be the better of the two QBs here. Dontrell Drummond. I hate that last name. Y'all know that. Elite throw power, elite speed. The way I'm rebuilding this team is super weird. There are some good corners here too. I really like Marshall Morris, and there really isn't that good of one after this pick. You know what? Here, let's go with Dontrell Drummond, whatever that last name is. I'm usually decent at pronouncing stuff. Not that. Not the most accurate, but good accuracy at least. A awareness, A break sack, A throw on the run. I'm bad at scouting QBs, so there's probably something I'm missing here, and he just isn't gonna be good, but he looks good, so we'll take him. Hidden dev, 95 throw power, 94 speed. Yeah, we'll take that. And here's the plan. Oh, it's the Eagles right here. If they go with one of the corners, I might be really upset. Oh, they go with Dyson. That's interesting. Well, we'll see if we made the right pick. That could be really bad if we didn't. Ooh. Okay, the Bears don't need a QB, obviously, but we do still have Nolan Brock and Daniel Jones, I guess. I don't think anyone would want to trade with or trade for him with that contract. Words are hard, but I'm gonna trade up. All right, weird trade here, but we are gonna be trading up our third round pick and a third round pick next year and a fifth round pick this year to get pick 45, and we're also getting a seventh round pick next year just so we don't have less picks. I mean, we'll have worse picks next year, but not less at the very least. And now let's go with, if this guy isn't good, I'm gonna be really sad, cry a little bit even, but Marshall Morris, great speed, elite acceleration, to 4.44. I wouldn't really say all that, but A-man, B-zone, B-press. There is also Quentin Murphy, who I guess technically could be better if his man is like really insane, but pretty much the same speed, but it's like significantly worse. Solid speed, solid speed, solid acceleration. So probably not gonna do that. We'll go with Marshall Morris, left-handed just like me for real, out of Iowa. We'll take him. Shit. I mean, he has 94 speed, 95 excel, no dev trait, but I think he's good. We'll find out. There might be a lot of value given up for not that good of a player, but we'll see. Okay, I'm just suddenly good at drafting. I don't know why. Ernest Ross, 79 overall. That was a good pick. We'll see where he compares to the other receiver in a second. I already forgot his name, but Demir Hitchcock, 77 overall. I mean, that's about what I expected being a first round talent. Good man, good hit power, good speed, good player. And Dontrell Drummond or whatever. Should I change his last name? I don't want to pronounce that last name because I don't know how to say it. I feel like someone explained to me how to say it. I'm sure a lot of people did, but I don't remember. Dontrell Smith. That's so boring, but whatever. But yeah, he's a really good quarterback. That was definitely a good pick. I was a little worried because usually if if players slip, especially quarterbacks, it means they're not that good, but he is. And then the last pick I showed, Marshall Morris, I wish he had a dev trait because he is a 79 overall. I bet the other corner had a dev trait, but Morris is probably a higher overall, so I don't know, we'll see. And I actually made every pick in this draft. I'm surprised. Okay, I thought Stephon Wilson or Stephen, whatever, would be a little better, but a 72 is fine. At least he has a hidden dev. I thought he'd be like a 75. Dylan Grant, 70 overall tight end. We might start him. We'll see. Probably not though, but we'll see. And then Josh Dockett's surprisingly decent. This was just a complete flyer. Oh, he's horrible in coverage, but everything else is fine. But I want to see where this class, like where these players would rank, because I think we did pretty well. Okay, the tackles at the top of the board were really good, and I was right. Morgan Meadows is really good. This is like the best linebacker I've seen in a while. Not that fast, but everything else is so good it doesn't matter. But Morris was, I guess, a top 5 player in the class. That's crazy. Again, I wish he had a dev trait, but Ross is also tied for that at a 79, and he's better than Phelps. Phelps isn't that good. I mean, he's good, but only a 77? I guess just his deep route and acceleration hold him back, but no, we definitely made the right choice there. Okay, I did about as well as I could have in this draft. Kind of lucked into it there because I thought that Phelps was better, but let's just pretend I didn't, all right? But of course, Smith and Hitchcock both up here. We got like, what, 4 first-round talents? 1 top 5, or I guess technically 2 if you want to count Ross. We did pretty well. Pretty good draft. But here's a look at the team heading into year, what, 3 already? This one's going quick for me, at least. It's probably going to be a long video because I've rambled so much, but whatever. But we are going to start Dontrell Smith. Not quite a scheme fit, but I guess strong arm is his second highest scheme or archetype, I guess. I'm undecided what I want to do with Nolan Brock, though. I almost want to keep him as like an option in case Dontrell Smith is awful. We'll see. I almost want to go with a more pass-heavy offense. Should we change the offensive playbook? Because, I mean, we have such good weapons, and Devin Singletary's bad in this game. So let's go with... Someone told me to use the Rams offense. I've used it before, and I didn't like it. It was a long time ago, though, so let's go with the Bills offense. Is that crazy? Is this even a good one? I know the Bengals is good. We'll go with the Bengals. I won't go full Chiefs offense, but we'll try the Bengals. And then, of course, the defense is pretty different, too. I mean, not super different, but we added Morris, Odigizua, and Hitchcock, so that's pretty cool. Also, Joshua Williams was just a free agent, so I signed him. Why not? Our defense is an 87 overall, by the way. It's pretty decent already. I'm sure our offense will do better for some reason, but whatever. Definitely an interesting year. Again, a lot of rookies starting, so let's get to the midseason point, and we will see how we do. I probably should have showed the, like, pre-breakout scenario thing, but this is huge. You know, the big problem with Marshall Morris was the fact that he didn't have a dev trait, but now he has a dev trait, so he hit a breakout, 5,000 XP, star dev. We're cooking now. We're looking good. Okay, well, we are 5-2 at the midseason, thankfully. If we underperform this year, I don't even know. Our defense is, guess, underperforming, but we're not allowing many points, so I don't know. I don't know what to think there. We're allowing a decent amount of yards, though. Shocker. But our offense is doing really good. Ooh. Apparently, Dontrell Smith is 3rd for passing yards. Joe Burrow has an 81 completion percentage. What? Okay, Dontrell Smith is doing insanely well. 14 touchdowns, only 2 picks, 72 completion percentage, but Joe Burrow on pace for maybe the best quarterback season ever. 9.7 yards per attempt. That isn't even the highest in the league, okay. But we have some re-signings to worry about. Really nothing that important here, though. Like, a few starters, I guess, but not unreplaceable starters. Irreplaceable, that's the word. That's the one. We'll think about Wan'Dale Robinson, but we have Jalen Hyatt. We can add another receiver, like, whatever. And, oh yeah, speaking of receivers, and I guess the whole team here, as for dev traits, we got some pretty decent ones. So, unfortunately, Dontrell Smith only has star, but Dylan Brandt does have X Factor, which is what I was hoping for. He is very much not a scheme fit. A 64 overall vertical threat, but whatever. Ross has superstar, and then I don't think we had any good ones on defense. Hitchcock only stars, surprisingly. Well, I don't know if that's that surprising, but thankfully Morris did get that star dev, so that's cool. I kind of wish the dev traits were spread around a little differently. Like, I wish Smith could have X Factor instead of a 73 overall tight end, but whatever. We'll still take it. But really not much to do here, so let's get to the end of the year, and we will see if we can win the division. It's close right now. We do have the lead, but we are tied with the Cowboys at 5-2, and we're about to probably lose to the Cowboys. But we will see what happens. But But okay, here we are at the end of the year, and if you've seen my videos before, y'all know why we're here. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on the video. I would appreciate it. Again, 900 likes and I will do the next team, whichever one is voted in the comments, earlier than next Friday, which the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking I might do Saturday instead. I think that'll be the plan, so we'll see. Either Friday or Saturday, but probably Saturday now that I think about it. Expect my videos on Saturdays. But yeah, 900 likes and I'll do it earlier if y'all really want to see it, if I have time. And again, subscribe for more, trying to hit, I guess, 10K pretty soon. I'll eventually get to your favorite team if it hasn't been done already, but anyways, we developed a pretty good amount through the second half of the year. We're up to an 88 overall. This is a really, really good team, mostly through just drafting. I mean, how many free agents have we even added here? We added Oso Digizua, and is that it? I guess Joshua Williams, if you want to count that. This might be the best I've ever drafted. It's close. But anyways, in year number 3, we finished 11-6, and we made the playoffs. I wish we did a little better. We only ended up 3rd in the division, with the Commanders coming in last, but having a winning record at 9-8. Every team in this division had a winning record. That's insane. But let's see what maybe went wrong in the second half of the year. I mean, we still did well. It was definitely not Dontrell Smith, though. 4,200 yards, 35 touchdowns, only 4 picks, 72 completion percentage. He was insane. And even Devin Singletary's maybe best year so far, 1,000 yards, almost 1,200. 4.3 per carry, 8 touchdowns. The 3 fumbles isn't great, but he had a long of 69, nice. Malik Neighbors, almost 1,500 yards, 1,450, 16 touchdowns. I always round up a lot with the numbers I say. I don't know why I do that, but I do. Because I mean, is 1,450 really that close to fit? Well, it's pretty close, whatever. But even Wan'Dale Robinson, 900 yards. I wish Ross did a little more as a rookie, but that's more of a scheme thing. Dressler was kind of bad at right tackle again, but not as bad, thankfully. John Runyon wasn't that good, though. 7 sacks at right guard. Andrew Thomas was good, at least. But Bobby Okereke, 111 tackles, led the team. TFL 17 for Lawrence led the team. And sacks, have we still not had someone hit 10 sacks? Are we for real? Is this a real video game? We have Brian Burns, now Oso Digizua, Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, and we haven't had someone with 10 sacks. Really? Actually, no, he only had 8.5 last year. Lawrence did. This game is something. But Deontay Banks led the team with 3 picks, 2 for Marshall Morris, and then 1 for a few players. So good year. Our defense was still maybe a little questionable, but still good. Ooh, the yards were pretty terrible. Are we gonna change both playbooks? Oh, and of course we have a Dak MVP. Who else would it be? Dontrell Smith all the way down at 9 for MVP? Really? With 34 touchdowns, only 2 picks, like 4,200 yards, 72 completion percentage. That's 9th? All right. But offensive player of the year, it's of course top 2 Cowboys. Malik Neighbors at number 4. Dontrell Smith at number 10. That's cool. Defensive player of the year, a Cowboy. Who would have guessed? Offensive rookie of the year, I am assuming it's going to be Dontrell Smith, and it is, thankfully. If it wasn't, well, I don't know what kind of threats I can and can't make, so we're not going to say that. Ernest Ross at number 5. Dylan Brandt. I keep wanting to say Grant. Am I going to make another last name change? He was at number 7, though. And defensive rookie of the year goes to Morgan Meadows for the Panthers, the really good looking linebacker. Marshall Morris at 4. Demir Hitchcock at 9. Whatever. At least we got offensive rookie of the year. That's cool. But we have a first of many scenario here, our first playoff game. We will go play it cool. Y'all know me. Glad we're finally doing well. I guess we didn't have a great team last year, but probably should have been a little better than 4-13. God, I really don't like our defense. I mean, we're getting sacks, but we're getting stats. We're just allowing yards. Crazy. We're bottom 8 defense in the league with an 88 overall defense. Certified EA moment. We'll see. I might hire like a new defensive coordinator. I always forget to do that thing. See, back in my day, that wasn't really a thing you could do, or I don't think it was. At least I never did it. Back when I started playing franchise in like 2015 or something, or Madden 15. So I'm not used to doing it, but apparently it works. So we'll see. I don't know. Either way, our defense is bad and it should be better. So we'll see what we want to do about it. But let's simulate this game against the Packers and we will see if we can get a win. No, not surprising, but we lose 35-24 with our defense being the big issue. I mean, 24 points per game is what we have, and that's 10th. So our offense did its job. We'll see. How do you even fire coordinators? You go franchise staff, I guess? Get out of here. Thomas Quinn. Who do we want? Is it good to look for coaches that have like your playbook? I guess Thomas Quinn did, so maybe it is just our defense. Let's go with Scott Anderson, I guess. Will Sanders has 2 talents at least. EAST, so maybe that's the good. Albert Torres has 4, but his defensive scheme is disguise 3-4. How does this work? I should know how this works, but I don't. Let's go with Scott Anderson. He apparently has a lot of upgrade points. Sure, that's fine. But in the Super Bowl, we have Chiefs, Packers. At least it's not the Cowboys, I guess. But we do have an upgrade for Dontrell Smith. I'm a little surprised it's only 1, but he does at least get Superstar Dev. Is Madden sleeping on him? I mean, he had a pretty damn good year. Only 4 picks, 35 touchdowns. I mean, I know stats aren't everything, but like that's really all we have to go off here. I mean, he had 122 passer rating. I kind of thought there was a chance he would go straight to X Factor and get like 4 upgrades, but he only got 1. I don't know. Fine, but I was hoping for better. Again, is it so wrong for me to be hopeful? But I think we are heading into the second to last offseason, because I mean, there's only so much more we can do with this team. We already have a really good roster. It's just about it playing as well as it should, which we'll see if that happens. Before re-signings, we'll pick up the 5th year for Deonte Banks, and then all of our free agents. Wan'Dale Robinson was decent, but he's not interested. We can get an upgrade in terms of overall. Micah McFadden, Let's just get into free agency with a decent amount of money, and can we finally cut Daniel Jones? Because every year I've gone to cut him, it really wouldn't save that much money. Here it still really doesn't. I mean, it's a big penalty, but whatever. It saves money, so we'll do it. But it's an all right free agent class. I feel like they've been super weak just in like every rebuild I do. I don't know why that is, but let's see. What do we want to do here? Definitely need a running back. How does James Cook do in this game? Okay, not great. We might just have to bring Devin Singletary back. Or we can sign the player I always get him confused with for some reason, in David Montgomery. I don't know why I get those two mixed up. Well, I do. It's because the Bears had Mike Singletary, so for some reason I don't know why I confused them. But I guess Devin Singletary's probably going to be our option again, unfortunately. I don't trust him, but we'll see. And I do want a receiver, but I don't want this old of a receiver. Michael Pittman isn't that old. He's not even 30, so maybe we'll sign him, but he isn't interested. It would be really cool if we got him, though, somehow. And you know what? I kind of want a little more money. Is there anyone else we can cut? No, probably not. Can we, like, restructure Andrew Thomas? Is that a thing? We can. Okay, wait. Why have I not been Let me just restructure, like, every deal we have. Give me a second. God, restructures, they feel a little broken in this game. I mean, obviously a thing in real life, so I'm glad they're a thing. But we now have, like, 40 mil extra to work with. So I guess let's go crazy here. I don't know how crazy I want to go, though. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for Zach Martin, just because, you know, John Runyon wasn't great last year. He allowed 6 sacks, which at right guard, that isn't phenomenal. And I really don't get Zach Martin much in rebuilds. Kind of fallen off a little bit in real life, but still really good. And then Kendall Fuller, we'll try to bring him in. Another older player, but still really good. He'll be our #1 corner, which is crazy. I don't know what we're gonna draft this year, because we're kind of addressing every need right here, but we'll figure something out. Just the big one is, can we get Michael Pittman? I guess if we don't get him, it's not the end of the world, because that's what we can draft, but he would be a huge upgrade. If we get all these players, which we won't, I can promise that, but if we somehow did, God, we could be like a 91 or 2 overall. Well, I guess we went down to an 85 with the players we lost, so maybe like a 90, but by the end of this year, we could be like a 92. Again, we'll try to bring I almost called him Mike Singletary, Devin Singletary back. We'll try to bring in Geno Stone. We really don't need a safety that bad, but he is an upgrade at either safety spot, so why not? And then Ivan Pace, who I always sign in franchise, because he's always here. The Vikings hate him, I guess. I don't know. Which, not to you know, brag, but Ivan Pace was a player I really liked in last year's draft. I thought it was crazy he went undrafted, and he had a really good rookie year, so that's all I'm saying. I know what I'm talking about sometimes. But anyways, let's see who wants to sign here. I'm guessing we'll get like half of these guys. We'll see, though. We might get more. Okay, so almost everybody signs, just not Devin Singletary. Ooh. Okay, that's even worse than I expected. We get Zach Martin, Kendall Fuller, and Ivan Pace. We do not get Michael Pittman or Geno Stone. Was there one more? No, we just don't get those two. That's not great. Those are 2 of the biggest upgrades we could have gotten. I mean, these guys are cool, but like we have other corners. We have an okay right guard, and we could have drafted a linebacker. I guess we could have drafted a receiver too, and Geno Stone wasn't that big of an upgrade, but still, it would have been nice players to have. They would have been. Daxton Hill with Superstar Dev. I don't know why I'm trying so hard to get a safety. We don't really need one, but whatever. And then I don't really want any of these receivers. I mean, Romeo Dobbs would be cool, but Oh, I should do this more. Is this a little busted? I used to do this sometimes. Just go into free agency and sort by the youngest players and see if any of them them have crazy dev traits. I don't know. That seems a little busted, but I'll sign Tyler Alford, X Factor receiver. It looks like he does have an offer, but we have a better one. I don't know if he's even gonna play a role at all, but might as well sign him. Okay, let me sign some of these guys. Hold on. Okay, so this is gonna be our second group of players: Devin Singletary, Daxton Hill, and then Tyler Alford, the X Factor, and then a couple star players. I don't even know if either of them will make the team, but we'll see. Let's see who wants to sign out of this group. And we get Hill, Alford, and Dylan. Is Devin Singletary not gonna re-sign with us? Really? You're gonna be like that? All right, this is pretty important, so let's get to the next week and we'll see if he signs. I mean, running back play is super important in this game, as I always say. I mean, you want to have a good running back in real life, but you can get by with like a decent one. In Madden, the problem is that there just aren't many running backs who play well, so you kind of have to get one of the good performers. Devin Singletary doesn't sign with us. He signs with the Vikings, who had a worse offer, who also stole Geno Stone from us, so that's great. Love that. Well, we need a running back. Jalen Warren, not good in this game. Alvin Kamara is, for some reason. I mean, he's like fine in real life still, but he's definitely regressing, but not in Madden. Do I really want to sign a 31-year-old running back? That just seems like sinful. I mean, it's probably a good idea because he does well, but I don't like it. But let's get to the draft and we will see what we can do. This is a tougher offseason than I expected. This could have gone much smoother. All right, well, here in the draft, we pick at 21, and this is where I might do something I rarely do, because like I said earlier, we needed a really good free agent class and it wasn't great, and we only got about half of the guys we wanted. So I think we're gonna trade our first round pick for a player, which I maybe should do more often, but we'll see what we want to do. Okay, we are gonna be trading our first round pick for T. Higgins. Not exactly the player I was expecting to trade for. I was gonna trade for a DB, but honestly, looking at our defensive stats, they were fine, at least for like pass deflections and picks for our DBs, but we really don't have a great number 2. I mean, Ernest Ross is cool, and he is like number 2 value. He's ranked number 46. That's fine, but I wanted like a really good number 2. Ranked number 13 here for T. Higgins, so only 800 yards this year, but should have a bigger role here, maybe. I mean, I think he will. I think he'll be our number 1, so he'll probably kind of take over Malik Neighbors' stats. Neighbors will probably have a year more like this, hopefully a little better, but big upgrade there. And yeah, our defensive stats are like fine. Like Hitchcock had an okay amount of pass deflections, but that's like good in Madden with 8. Morris had decent stats and Banks had decent stats, so nothing to really replace there. Newbin maybe, but like we also signed Daxton Hill, so we have enough safeties, and the receiver class here wasn't good. So I feel like every time I rebuild the Giants, I end up trading for T. Higgins. I don't know why that is, or at least attempting to. But anyways, back into the draft. I don't know what we're gonna do for the rest of this. We don't really have any needs. Maybe like near future needs, but none right now. So let's just go with Cameron Brownlee. He looks decent. First to second round talent. There is also Paul Steeples, which is an interesting name. Mark Purvis. They look decent. But we'll just go with Brownlee out of UCF. Hidden Dev, 91 speed, 91 excel. Sounds good. And then no third round pick. We traded that last year, but in the 4th round. Ricky Callaway's interesting. He's a pass blocker, but he also has B run block. Not super strong, but usually pass blockers aren't in Madden. Sure. Normal dev, but I think he's decent. And that's probably the last pick I'm going to show. So whatever draft. It's not going to look good on paper, but there wasn't much I could do anyways. Greg Widener. What a last name. Widener. That gets my mind going places, I'll say that. But okay, we had a decent little draft. I mean, not terrible for having, you know, no picks early. Cameron Brownlee, 74 overall. He's good. Really good number 3 linebacker. We'll see what his dev trait is. I guess he technically could have better than star. Now that I said that, he won't, but we'll see. And then Ricky Callaway. I just tried really hard to hold in a cough. That hurt. But he's decent. No dev trait, but 73 overall. That's good value for the late 4th. 73 is probably a 2nd, 3rd round talent or something like that. I don't know. I want to see though. I was thinking about just drafting a receiver with our first round pick. Was there someone good enough? Because with our pick, I really didn't see anyone. Oh my god. This might be the best guard I've ever seen. I mean, keep in mind I don't use the very strong draft classes. I just use strong, because the very strong, people tell me to use them. I don't want to, all right? I don't think they're realistic. They're just way too strong. But for strong draft classes, JJ Davis might be the best guard I've ever seen. On paper, he doesn't look like, well, he's an insane pass blocker, but doesn't have like crazy lead block, and I've seen better impact blocking, but 85 overall, he's pretty good. But there there were a couple receivers maybe worth taking, or at least one, Gerard Joseph. Oh, okay, he only has normal. So no, I think trading our first round pick was the right choice. There was Lindsey Martin, who went number 9, and that's about it. Javier Monk, he went before we could take him. Henry Burton, I guess we could have taken, but only, okay, no, we made the right choice. But here's a look at the team heading in to year number 4, and we are looking good. I thought we could be like, now maybe we could have been a 90 overall if we had gotten all the free agents, but still an 88 is pretty good. 88 offense, 89 defense. This defense is really nice. Honestly, I feel like the overall is very carried by the Giants players. Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, but you know, we've built a good group around them. Gonna be interesting to see how this defense does. I did switch to the Rams defense because I think that's what our DC's scheme is, so we'll see how that does. Hopefully, I mean, it would be hard for it to be worse. I shouldn't have said that. Now it is gonna be worse, but no, we'll see. We'll find out. But I really like the look of this offense. Amazing receiving core. Do I want to make Neighbors or Higgins the number 1? We'll just stick with Neighbors. He's younger. He's up to the same overall. He was an 89 just a second ago. Got 2 upgrades, so that's cool. And we'll see how Dontrell Smith does in year number 2 here. I guess the big question is, how's Alvin Kamara gonna do more than anything? Because, you know, he's definitely a bit older, but he's still doing well, at least the last couple years, so we'll see. But let's get to the midseason point here. I'm maybe half expecting a down year, at least a little worse than last year. Here's what I think will happen. We'll be underperforming at the midseason, and then we'll bounce back by the end of the year. It seems like that happens a lot in year 4 in franchise, but I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we just do well the whole year. We'll see. This is for real about to be the longest video I've ever done. I'm rambling so much. I am sorry, but I think that's why most of y'all watch me anyway, so whatever. Okay, and actually, super quick, one more thing. I always almost forget to do this. I really almost forgot this time, but question of the day. Let me know this down in the comments, but I think this might be a recurring theme for my, you know, realistic rebuilds on the channel. But what record do you think the Giants are gonna have in real life? Let me know that down in the comments. You know, this is a team that could be absolutely horrible. It's a team that could be honestly pretty decent. I thought they were gonna be good last year, and they weren't, but to be fair, their O-line massively underperformed and then got hurt, and then Daniel Jones got hurt, and then everybody got hurt, so. And even with all that, they only finished like 6-11, so maybe this is a bold pick, but I think they'll finish somewhere around like 8-9, assuming they stay healthy. Now, if they don't, then no, but my thing is, where are they really worse than they were last year? Maybe running back, but Saquon's just hurt a lot, and I guess their D-line's kind of thin, but let me know what record you think the Giants are gonna have this year, and you know, if you somehow remember and come back here, you can see if you're right a year later. I don't know. But we are 4-3 at the midseason here. Definitely worse than last year. Well, by 1 game. Definitely much worse than we should be. Let's see where an 89 ranks in the league. Probably not the best, but maybe second? Maybe just the best? Okay, the Chiefs have the same overall as us. Wow. We're really underperforming. Great. That's what you love to see. Look at the Panthers stats compared to ours. We have 7 overall on them. Now, we have a better record, but their stats are a lot better. Why? What did I do to deserve this? It's just our defense again, man. Our offense is fine. I don't know. Dontrell Smith at least has an upgrade. That's cool. And we have some re-signings to worry about, but we don't have any money. Now, we can restructure deals at the end of the year. I think we'll be fine. Kayvon Thibodeau, honestly, do I want him back? Like, he's just horrible in this game. The most sacks he's had in a year is 7.5. That's not great. That's fine, but that's not worth, like, the number 5 pick or wherever he was taken in real life. Like, he's been pretty disappointing here. I don't know. We'll see. We might upgrade there. Tyler Nubin, we kind of replaced him. Bobby Okereke I'll want back, but most guys here I'm probably fine. Like, John Michael Schmitz is okay, but he's not interested. He's played pretty well, though. But not much we can do here, so let's get to the end of the year, and we will see how we finish. Okay, we do finish 10-7. Again, we should have been better, but what can you really do in Madden? We had an all-right offense and an all-right defense. Of course, our lower overall offense did better than our higher. Well, I guess our offense and defense are the same overall now, but still, it is what it is. Did we have any hidden devs as starters? I guess not really. We had Brownlee, who's already up to a 78. What's his dev trait? He developed 4 overall as a backup. We'll see. But let's see what went wrong this year. I mean, we were still decent. We made the playoffs at least, but this game loves to raise my blood pressure. Almost 4,500 yards for Dontrell Smith, 39 touchdowns, only 4 picks. Very similar year to last year, but arguably better. I guess a lower passer rating, but whatever. Alvin Kamara wasn't great, 1,000 yards, 3.8 per carry, whatever. I figured he wouldn't be super great, but Malik Neighbors, almost 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. T. Higgins, almost 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns. See, these are fair almosts. Neighbors was 11 away from 1,300. Higgins was 6 away from 1,200, so these are, it's not like me calling Ernest Ross 814 yards, almost 900, which I'll do. Almost 900 yards for Ernest Ross. Jacob Dressler might have to go. Like, he's a good overall, but that doesn't mean anything in this game, so we might look for a new right tackle. He's been horrible every year. We'll see. The rest of the blocking was fine, though, and then 115 tackles for Okereke, tons of TFLs, 18 for Odigizua led the team, and sacks. We finally got someone with 10.5 sacks, or I guess at least 10 sacks. 10.5 for Brian Burns, 8.5 for Lawrence. Yeah, we're not bringing Kayvon Thibodeau back. 3.5 for him. Awesome. And then we had 5 total interceptions, which, by the way, at the midseason, we had 0. But we ended up with 2 for Morris and then 1 for Banks, Fuller, and Phillips. But MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes, Lamar at 2. Dontrell Smith at number 3. So he's getting close to winning MVP. We'll see. Which, by the way, we still have Brock. I don't know what we want to do with him, but I don't really feel like trading him. It wouldn't really do a whole lot for us. Wan'Dale Robinson up there at number 8 for Offensive Player of the Year for the Chargers, for the AFC. That's awesome. But Dontrell Smith at number 7 for NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Burns at 9 for Defensive Player of the Year. Noah Hardy at 9 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I definitely know who that is. I think that's like our 3rd string tight end. And then nobody for defensive. Unlucky. I mean, we didn't start anyone, but whatever. I'll still complain about it. Y'all know me. But we actually have a one last hurrah scenario here. Who would this be? Oh, Zach. I completely forgot we had Zach Martin. Not gonna lie. Which kind of cursed going to a division rival. I didn't even really think about that, but maybe gonna retire. But I mean, we need a playoff win. We still haven't had one despite having, I can't stress this enough, the best roster in the league. This game drives me insane. Let's see, where do we rank? No, that's not how you do it. Where do we rank now? Are we still tied for first? The Chiefs probably passed us up because they probably did well. Nope, we are the best roster in the league. We passed the Chiefs up, and we are about to lose in the wild card. Oh boy, can't wait. Now, it looks like the 49ers had a terrible defense, to be fair, for some reason. Again, realism, what is it? But I guess we can't complain too much because they're at home. They shouldn't be. We should have been better. But, you know, I guess we definitely deserve this game. So let's see what happens. Oh, I didn't even notice. We're coming off a Week 18 loss to the 49ers. It was by 1 point, 35-34, but hopefully very recent history doesn't repeat itself. We'll see. And it does. Almost perfectly. 35-30 we lost this time. Will we get a playoff win with the Giants with the best roster in the league? I'm trying, man. I'm trying to make the Giants good. It was surprisingly easy to make the roster good, but to make it perform well. I think we're gonna make a couple trades, though. Let's just go all in for this final year. We'll do every single thing we can. And we actually have a little bit of cap space here. Does that mean Zach Martin retired? We're not a lower overall, though, so maybe not. Okay, he did. If for some reason didn't impact our overall. Alvin Kamara also retired, which is fine. He was bad. Did anyone else retire? I don't think so. How did we stay the same over? I don't understand overall in this game, man. On a positive note, Dontrell Smith went up to X Factor. You know, you would hope with as good of a year he had, number 3 for MVP, but what a pick that was. What a decision it was. You know, not to pat myself on the back too hard here, but I feel like those were some great moves we made. Trading down to get that extra pick and taking the QB with, I think, that pick and then trading back up to get a good corner. This might be my most masterful drafting rebuild ever. It's close. We built this team almost entirely through drafting. I'm really sucking myself off with this one. I don't know why. So glad this great team doesn't result in any playoff wins. Whatever. Let me restructure every single deal and we will see how much money we have to work with. But okay, we freed up almost 40 mil in cap, and again, we're not going to re-sign Kayvon Thibodeau, unfortunately. I mean, it just doesn't really make sense to. I guess we have the money, maybe we can bring him back in free agency, but he has just not been good. Like, it's just, on paper, you know, an 87 overall would make sense to bring back, especially with him interested, and honestly, not that expensive, but Madden. That's my counter-argument, Madden. But Bobby Okereke will bring back 3 years, 49.8 mil, pretty much 50 mil, and he takes it. We're not going to bring Tyler Nubin back. We're not going to bring Jalen Hyatt back. Andrew Phillips has been decent when he's played, so maybe. John Michael Schmitz has been good, but not interested. We can upgrade on paper. I think we're good on everybody else here. I mean, Andrew Phillips, I guess, but let's work on some trades here. Okay, we are going to trade Nolan. was his name Nolan? I forgot at this point. But we're going to trade him to the Falcons for a second round pick. In terms of Madden, like, we could probably get a lot more, but keep in mind, I'm trying to keep it realistic. So I think a second round pick for like a 24-year-old star dev quarterback, that's about fair. Where does he rank in the league at like an 80 overall? I guess he's 25, but whatever. 29, so maybe a second was a bit much even. I see people complain sometimes like, oh, why did you trade this player for so little? I try to keep my trades somewhat realistic, which even then, a lot of the time, I feel like Madden trade value has kind of fried some people's idea of real life trades. Like, this guy definitely wouldn't go for a second round pick in real life as the 29 ranked QB. I mean, he does have a really strong arm, so maybe, but I don't know. And we are going to be getting another second round pick, but this one being a very early second. I mean, this is pick 34 for Jacob Dressler. I know he's been horrible. Like, on paper, we're just going to go off his overall. He is the 9th ranked right tackle at only 24 years old. I think someone would give up a high second round pick for that if this guy somehow became available. Not with how he's played, but just ignoring the Madden moment. 24-year-old top 10 right tackle. I think that's worth a decent bit, so we'll do it. And now I think that's the end of our trades. I think that's all we're going to do. I could trade for another player. You know what? I don't do this much. Let me check the trade block. Usually the trade block just isn't good, so I don't check it, but you never know. I would assume it isn't great right now. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, Paul Steeples, someone I was going to draft. Looks like I should have picked. Looks pretty good. I mean, it doesn't matter that much, but still. Will Ferrell, that's interesting. He's superstar dev. That's cool. The elite Steelers free safety, Will Ferrell. Looks exactly like him. No difference. There's also Teddy Bigby. I feel like that needs an S in it, Bigsby, but Bigby's interesting. X Factor, though. We might trade for him. I mean, an X Factor on the trade block, how expensive would he be? 3rd round pick? I mean, sure, why not? I don't even know if he'll play, but if we can get an X Factor for a 3rd round pick, sure, whatever. But okay, I think that's enough trading, and let's see what we want to do in free agency. Not a great class. Again, where have the good players been? There's Tyler Smith here, which is cool. I moved him to tackle because I think he was going to play tackle for like 2 days for the Cowboys, and then they said they were going to play Tyler Guyton there, which I don't know if I love that, but I do like that they're going to keep Tyler Smith at tackle, or at guard. I think he should be a guard, but he isn't one here, so I don't know. Ooh, Joe Alt's here. No dev trait because Madden, but ooh. Okay, this year he was good. Last year, not so much. I wouldn't mind signing him, though. We do have a pretty big need at right tackle, clearly. There is also Brian O'Neill. How does he do? Not great. You know what? This could be a risk because he might not be that good, but we'll try to sign him. Linemen are so hit or miss in this game. Like, you can have the highest overall tackle, and they could play amazingly well, or they could play like the worst tackle in the league. You never know. All right, I think I've ranted enough in this video about this game. I'll try to stop, but maybe EA should make a better game with all their resources. I don't know. Would that be so crazy? But okay, the 2 players we are gonna go for, it's kind of disappointing, but Kayvon Thibodeau, we'll try to bring him back. Again, he hasn't been great, but there isn't really an upgrade here. I mean, Jared Verse, but he's been bad. Chop Robinson, but he's been bad. Dallas Turner, but he's been bad. How about Chenna Nwosu? He's pretty good in this game sometimes. He's been all right, but he hasn't been better than Thibodeau. All right, I think we're just gonna have to stick with who we're offering for, unfortunately. Carl Lawson is here. Why? There are so many things wrong with this dude. He's been playing 3-4 end for the Buccaneers, which that's something. He's gotten a crazy amount of TFLs, and he has, in 2024 and 2026, he had 20 total sacks. I said I would stop complaining, but skill issue for EA. But Kayvon Thibodeau, Joe Alt, let's see if we can sign him. Wish we could have gotten a better one than Thibodeau, but there just wasn't anyone here, and we'll see how Joe Alt does. But we do get both of them. That's cool. And let's get to the final draft of this rebuild, and hopefully we can really make this team good finally. We'll see. We do need a center maybe. Hold on. I mean, we could draft one if there is a good one, but we might want to sign one. There's Ryan Kelly. Ooh, he was bad this year. I think Elton Jenkins has some center experience. Sure. Oh no, we can't afford him. Never mind. We're broke. All right, let's get to the draft. I forgot. Okay, and in the draft, y'all might be witnessing a first for me. I don't think in a realistic rebuild, I have ever taken a running back in the first round. I don't know if I've taken one in the first round in general, unless well, no, I definitely have. If we've done like a zero overall rebuild where we have every first round pick, definitely then, but I don't think in a regular one. But that's like our last need, literally our last need. Now, some of these guys down here might be decent, like A ball carrier vision for Tyquan Claxton, lots of B's for Antoine Groves, but I think in round 1, we are going to go with the 1 first round talent I see, and and that is Jaleel Copeland out of Kansas. Only 21 years old. I don't really have good luck with dev traits when I'm drafting running backs, so this guy could have normal, but looks like an insane receiving back. As a runner, not great, but okay-ish, but just an elite level receiving back, which is, you know, kind of more so what you want to shoot for in round 1 than just a pure runner, unless they're like an insanely good runner. But Jaleel Copeland is gonna be a first for me. Let's take him. Hidden dev, 94 speed, 95 excel. This dude might be pretty damn good. I mean, we know what his overall is gonna be, but we'll see what his dev trait is. It's gonna be like a 77 or maybe 8 overall, somewhere around there, maybe only a 76. We'll see. And now we have 3 second-round picks. These are gonna be the last 3 picks I make of the rebuild. What do we want to do? We could go with the safety, I guess. I mean, we've added a lot of safeties, but we're still, you know, chasing that dragon. Is that the saying? I don't know. We're trying to find a good one. None of ours have been that good. But no, I don't think we need one. Hitchcock got superstar dev. That's cool. So no, I think we're good at safe. So really just O-line is probably what we're going to draft, and maybe like a good third pass rusher, which if there is a decent pass rusher, we need to take him here. Ooh, Cedric Alexander. A power moves, a tackle, great speed, great acceleration, good strength. The only thing is he's a defensive end and he's going to go down in overall once we move him to outside linebacker, but looks like a really good run defender. I guess not the best block shedding, but don't see anyone better than him, at least in terms of pass rush. Why is Epstein such a common last name in franchise? Why don't they just take it out? Like, why? Breaking news, Mikey McDingle caught on flight to Epstein Island. I'm looking to see if there's anyone else named Epstein. I don't see anyone else, but I usually do see at least one for some reason. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked again. Dwight Epstein actually didn't look bad. He had A awareness, A finesse moves, good speed, elite acceleration. Like, that's not bad. I think we are a little more power oriented though. So, well, so was, never mind. Let's go with Cedric Alexander. Shit. You know what? Why'd I take him? He was a 3rd to 4th round projection. I could have taken Epstein first. I didn't notice that until after I had already clicked the button. It was too late. Whatever. Let's see. Is there a good lineman here? Are there one of those, you know, 80-something overall linemen? Ooh, maybe. Dom Flaherty, whatever. Looks pretty good. Centers are always super good. I guess I don't really watch many, you know, rebuild videos anymore for some reason. I'm just sick of franchise from playing it so much, but I feel like center's an underrated position that people should take more. Maybe people do, I don't know, but they're usually pretty good. We don't need to do that yet, though. Let's also go with Dwight Epstein. Unfortunate last name, but maybe a decent player. Normal dev, never mind. That's what I get for taking him. Well, maybe he's a decent overall, but no dev trait, so it doesn't matter. Well, I guess we only need him for this year, so whatever. And then the last pick, let's go with Dom Flaherty out of Miami. Let's take him. Hidden dev, 92 strength. Technically a reach, because, you know, he was projected to go round 3, but he looked pretty good, so we'll take it. But here's how we did in the draft. Okay, Copeland is like the lowest overall he could have been, I think. I mean, usually if a player's a first-round talent, they're going to be at least a 76. So he is a 76. We'll take it. Looks really good on paper, just not a crazy runner. Definitely a better receiving back than running back. Cedric Alexander's decent at 74, but Dwight Epstein was the better player at a 75, so we should have just taken him and then done something else with the 10th pick, I guess. Plus, Cedric Alexander's probably only going to be like a 72 at outside linebacker, so But he is a better scheme fit, so... Oh, he's only a 71. Ugh. I mean, he's not that slow. That's kind of... He's faster than Epstein, and he went down that much. That's crazy. But Flaherty, 74, he's good, and then Greg Rogers got him at the end of round 4, and he was just as good as Jaleel Copeland in the first round. That's crazy. But he's a good player. 92 speed as a power back. That is definitely not bad. 91 carrying, 83 strength, 84 trucking. Looks good. He might even start over Copeland. I mean, probably not, but we'll see. And then I also took Stephen Guy. He's not that good. And then that was my last pick of the rebuild. So, all right, draft. I mean, we got what we needed, I guess. I was hoping we could get a better running back. Was there a better running back, actually? Probably, but I didn't see one. No. There was Darnell Livingston, also a 76, though, so no, we pretty much got 2 of the 3 best running backs there were, so we'll take it. Out of my control, and we have a very good roster here, clearly. I'll check in a second if it is still the best, but I think this is the starting roster we're gonna go with. We have so much depth on this team that it's hard to really say who we should start, but I think we'll start Hitchcock and Bigsby as our safeties instead of Hill. Hill will just be a really good 3. I guess we could also put him at corner. We'll see. And then this is the offense we are gonna go with. We'll start Copeland, and then Rogers will be the number 2. We'll see how that goes. I'm not expecting great running back play. I was really hoping to be able to draft a higher overall running back. Maybe find one of those like 80 pluses, but the one year there isn't one is the one year we are gonna draft one. I normally always see one of them, but whatever. And we'll see how this O-line does. We also added Taylor Moton. He was just sitting in free agency for some reason, so we picked him up. If one of our linemen suck, we'll sub him in. So this is crazy good team. Like I said, let's see where it ranks for overall at least. So the 49ers have a 90. We're better than them. And the Chiefs also have a 90. We are still the best roster in the league. It kind of makes me a little disappointed to have the best roster in the league because I know it's not going to go that well. But we'll see. We'll be hopeful as I can be. Let's get to the end of year number 5 and we will see what our record is going to be for the final season. But okay, we finish 14-3 and we make the playoffs, of course. I kind of got scared because I saw we didn't have a game here. I thought we missed the playoffs, but we just have a first round bye, thankfully. But great finish here. And honestly, I'm surprised this team came out so good. With what we had to start with, this is pretty amazing. But let's check out our season stats. Dontrell Smith, amazing last year. Maybe not as good as last year. He's kind of been getting worse every year in terms of performance, but hey, I mean, still great. 4,200 yards, 33 touchdowns, 9 picks. Jaleel Copeland got 1,000 yards, which is fine, but 3.5 yards per carry. Ooh, I don't know if I want to go with Greg Rogers, though, 3 yards per carry, but he's been more the goal line back, probably, so he's probably been getting, like, 1-yard goal line rushes, so maybe we'll start him for the playoffs. I don't know. But Malik Neighbors, almost 1,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards for T. Higgins, almost 900 yards for Ernest Ross. I'm just gonna keep saying almost for everything. Oh, and Joe Alt was kind of awful. The rest of the line was good, though, for the most part. And then Bobby Okereke, 105 tackles, TFL 17 for Lawrence, led the team, and sacked. Finally, good numbers. 15 for Brian Burns, 13.5 for Kayvon Thibodeau. Dexter Lawrence has been, like, consistent throughout this rebuild, but at least in terms of sacks, he hasn't been insane. Still good. And then interceptions, 3 for Fuller, 2 for Morris and Hellum. DeMarco Hellum's got 2 picks. Okay. And then 1 for a few players, including Kayvon Thibodeau. Interesting. But MVP goes to Josh Allen. Unfortunately, no Dontrell Smith MVP. I didn't expect, but he didn't get one. Malik Neighbors at 5 for Offensive Player of the Year. Thibodeau at 3 for Defensive Player of the Year. Burns at 4. Of course. I mean, it doesn't matter because we wouldn't get the XP and dev trait from it anyways, but Jaleel Copeland, number 2 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. We just have to get cut. Greg Rogers at 5, and then nobody up there for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So, very good last year. We finally did as well as we should. Were we the best team in the league in terms of record? We were, okay. By a decent bit. The Bills and Jets went 12-5, but there were a lot of 11-6 teams. We were like the only really good team. That's weird. Can't wait to lose in the divisional. But speaking of losing in the divisional, who are we going to be taking on? Also, I just watched the clip back. I tried to give a team breakdown. My new computer's got issues, man. OBS lags sometimes, and I'll think the recording starts, and it doesn't. It lags for a second, and then it starts. So the beginning of the last clip got cut off, so here is a team breakdown. I, of course, tried to show it at the beginning of the year, but whatever. 92 overall now, looking really good. 92 offense, 92 defense. Oh yeah, and what hidden devs did we have? I guess Copeland was 1. He only had star. Same with, well, Rogers probably only has star. Oh yeah, I guess we didn't have many picks, so that's about all the stars we'll get. But Hardy at tight end, Noah Hardy, we drafted him last year, but he has X Factor. I don't know if I ever mentioned that. It's just I'm so used to X Factor blocking tight ends. They're a thing for whatever reason. You know what? This is insane. What would his overall be at guard or like tackle? 65. That's not even that bad for a tight end playing tackle. He's also got a crazy look going. Eli Manning's a number 10. He doesn't give a shit about team history with the dark visor. Hell of a backup tight end. But all right, now y'all see the team. I think it hopefully recorded this time. I can't tell. But this is like I don't know if I should say best, but the most fitting divisional game we could get. It is going to be the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we have 5 overall on them. We have 3 wins on them, and we are at home. If we lose this game, there will be hell to pay. It looks like the Cowboys were actually good in the regular season, too. I'm surprised they're only 11-6. They had the 8th scoring offense, the best scoring defense, or is that what you consider scoring defense? Like when people say scoring defense, I've never understood what that means. I don't know why. I should know what that means, but like, does that mean least points per game allowed or most points scored from the defense? Because it makes me think like pick sixes for points and all that kind of thing, but it might just be like allowing the least points. I have no idea. Low key though, our offense wasn't that good. We were kind of carried by our defense. defense this year. How we feeling about another offensive playbook change? I mean, our offense wasn't bad. It just should have been a lot better. This is risky, though. We'll just stick with the Bengals, I guess. I'm not happy about it, though. Oh, yeah, it's probably held back because we had a bad running back. So I don't think I should change the offensive playbook. But without further ado here, let's accept our fate and let's see if we can somehow beat the Cowboys. And we do. 34-28. Okay, cool. I'm surprised, but I'm happy about it. And we have some upgrades. Teddy Bigby, which he didn't really develop much, but at least developed a little bit. Kind of looked like Deion Sanders or something. Yeah, he kind of does. That's weird. But we are going to be taking on the Packers in the conference championship. Was this there was one Giants playoff game in like 2016? Something weird happened. What was it? Okay, maybe I shouldn't have brought that up because the Giants got absolutely smoked. 13-38 in the wild card by the Packers. So, that's bad vibes. God, they had Jerry Reese as their GM at the time. Not exactly the Jerry Rice of GMs. Ben McAdoo. Good lord. But we have a playoff blizzard here. Whoever that was in the middle was gliding around as always. Good. We need like superhuman powers to win a Super Bowl here. So, moment of truth. Can we move on to a Super Bowl here? The answer is no. We get upset by the Packers 34-24. But hey, this was a more than Super Bowl deserving team. I did my part. This was maybe the most I have ever overhauled a team. From one of the worst rosters in the league to the best. Yeah, the Chiefs are still only a 91, so we have the best roster. Pretty good. But thank you all so much for watching. Again, let me know what team in this division I should do next. Each comment counts as a vote. Whichever team has the most comments, I will do. Again, 900 likes, and let me know, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. But you're a real one if you've made it all the way here. Be sure to go back and watch any of the other realistic rebuilds if you want. I've already done the NFC North, so if you're interested in one of those, be sure to watch it. But alright, enough yapping, and with that, I will see y'all again in the next video. Goodbye.